Hey, Wayne Defrancesco here, and hope you'll go to my website, WayneDefrancesco.com. Each week we're going to try to provide some insight on what happens on the tour. So right now I've got the winner of the Torrey Pines event, Ben Crane, and I've got his swing that I happen to have stored from 5 years ago, 4.5, and I've got a swing from yesterday. And what you're going to see is a huge change. So there's a couple things that are interesting here. One is the idea that most players, or that it's very difficult to make a major swing change and still manage to play well. That once you have a swing that you're good at, it's a bad idea to try to make it a lot different. So let's take Ben from the swing up to the top in 05, and you'll see that in the backswing he's pretty well in front of himself as he goes back, and when he gets up to the top, a fairly high position up there. Now we take a look at what happened the other day, and we got a pretty good camera angle here and it's pretty stable. So we'll take this up and we'll see what happens. Yep. So the first thing you'll notice is it's a much deeper backswing. So the spacing between the shaft plane it's set up and where the end of the grip ends up when the left arm is even with the ground. So in other words, this space here, if I measure that and I go from, say, 54 all the way up to 65, that's 11 degrees, and here he cut that down from 56 to 61. Now that's a huge change. Now the rest of it's just as big of a change, because you'll notice the other day that when he got to the top, he was well short of parallel, and you can see that his hands are not even over his shoulder. Now watch where he was a while back. Way different. So if we get rid of the lines and you just take a look, the angle of that left arm has come down a huge amount. Now the other thing that makes that possible is that the upper right arm is angled much more down, so he's keeping the thing much more compact. Now, I do understand that he had some back problems, and this may be a result, but a much lower and more compact and controlled backswing, definitely. Now, so as you look at the spacing underneath his grip, there's a little space right there, and he gets up to here. Look at the massive amount of space here as that club gets lifted up to the top there. So much more in front of him, well up in the air, and much lower and more deeper and more compact here. And then on the forward swing, he pretty much retraces, so when he comes down, this is a much steeper approach. Now, I'm pretty sure he probably hit the ball a lot further with the swing on the right, but certainly the swing on the left is much more under control, and you could tell. I don't think he missed a green, or maybe one green in the last 27 holes. Now in both swings, you'll notice something that I like to point out, is that the head lowers significantly during the swing. Now this is pretty much standard fare with good players, or at least I'd like people to understand that that's the case. Now notice back in 05, when he took the club away, he went barely down and then lifted up to the top. You can see the top of his hat bump up over that line, and then he would drop down. And when you look at him now, What a difference. So in the backswing now, all lowering, and in the forward swing, he doubles it up. And if you watch the video that I shot of Tiger Woods versus Ben Hogan, you'll notice that progression right there is exactly what Tiger and Hogan are using. So make note of that. The next time you hear someone say you're supposed to retain your spine angle during the golf swing. So anyway, congratulations to Ben Crane and on making that extra large change for the better in his golf swing.